Hi, it's Mama Rose, and today's the 19th of March, 2020. So I am about ready to do some meat in the sous vide. And if you don't know what the sous vide is, I'll let you know at the end. It's a tool that you put in. It's a circulating tool. It circulates the water and it heats it to a certain temperature, and you cook a meat for a long period of time, and it cooks it all the way through. And about 2 weeks ago, I went ahead and cooked a roast, and it cooked beautiful. And I think I might have put that videoed on that somewhere. And so this is my top sirloin. This is not top. It's a sirloin tip roast, and so it's all tied up. It's like a tri-tip. And I got it from the El Bell Ranch, the last one I got, and it was absolutely delicious. And what I did with this is I just seasoned it with salt. If you're doing keto and you want to jazz it all up and put all kinds of seasonings in it, you can do that. I'm just sticking with the salt, and then, you know, it turned out so good. And what it does is it makes the salt permeate all the way through the meat. I vacuum sealed it with my vacuum sealer. My daughter Lisa didn't want to get her vacuum sealer out, so she did it in a Ziploc baggie, a freezer Ziploc baggie, and that works good. You just need to, as you put it in the water, have the baggie opened and displace the air from it, and then seal it, and that should do it. You need something that does not have air in it so that it doesn't rise to the top. You want to hold it down, and I'll show you when I go over to do that. I'm going to try to do this, you know, from the beginning, and then I'll go ahead and after everything is all done and I'm slicing the meat, I'll go ahead and attach that to this video as well, if I can. Otherwise, you have to watch part 2 of my sous vide. So what I'm doing, the beauty of this is I'm cooking 2 different kinds of meats. And as I put the meat in them, I'll talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and get down here so you can see. I'm going to do 2 meats at once, which I don't normally do. But I'm going to do an experiment, of course. And I think it'll work out just fine because I don't need the pork done like I need this done. I want this done so that it's rare all the way through, and I'm going to do 140 degrees at 6 hours, and this is going to be really rare when I get done with it, which is great because I can slice it up and freeze dry it. I can slice it up and eat it. I don't mind it rare when I'm first eating it, or I can, you know, cook it a little bit after I slice it. And that would be fine too. Now this is a gallon size, I believe. What do you call it? Sealing bag. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and put my racks in here. I have 2 small racks of pork baby back ribs that I got from Butcher Box. And all I've done on these is I just seasoned them with granulated garlic and salt, and I'm just going to put them. You could do one at a time in here. I didn't realize how dirty this was going to be, so let me move this over and show you that. There's a lot to this filming. You know, you don't realize all the little ins and outs over here. So I got that in there, and like I said, just did granulated salt and garlic. I'm not putting the barbecue sauce in, pretty much because I didn't do it. If I had already had it made, then that would have been the perfect world. I'd go ahead and do it, but I don't have it already made. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum seal this. I'm going to go ahead and just so, I know it's going to be noisy, but just so you're not bored. Look, we didn't put our dishes away. I made bone broth soup last night, and we processed it today. So I'm going to go over to the vacuum sealer, and I am going to get that going. It's sealing now, and I put them in the one package, and you'll see when I go to do this in the water bath that I can just fold this in half and put this in my rack that will hold all of my stuff down. So let me go grab that so we can get that ahead of time. And this is what it looks like here. So let me get another one of these. So you have this like so. Now, as I was saying earlier that I didn't finish saying, normally I just do one thing at a time, but the beauty of this Sou Vide tool is you can do more than one. Now, the pork is going to take 12 hours at 168 degrees. Okay, so I'm not going to, you know, that's what that takes. This is going to take 6 hours at 140. So because this, I want the internal temperature and just everything about the beef is going to be different. So I'm just going to go by that. This one I just need cooked a lot. It's, you know, if you cook it in the oven and you cook it at 250 and you let it go for, you know, hours and hours, or you cook it at 350 and not as long. I mean, there's just different things that you're going to do when you're cooking, you know, pork. But all in all, the longer you cook it, the more tender it gets, and then you throw it on the barbecue grill, and usually it's almost falling apart then, just to get the barbecue sauce on and all that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this at the same time just to get a jump on this. And then after I take the meat out in 6 hours, I'm going to go ahead and crank this up to 168 degrees so that I can get the pork done. And I might only go for 8 hours or 6 hours. It doesn't really matter because I'll just do it longer, however I'm going to get the brown on it. So if I'm going to put it on the grill, I'll barbecue sauce it all up and then do it on the grill. I might only need to do it for 30 minutes. If I did it the other way, I might only have to do it for 5 or 10 minutes. But I'm going to judge according to that. And experimenting is what it's all about. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this in here like so. And I need another one of those. Let me grab it. I don't know how I'm going to do this to show you because I have the wand in there and I've already got the Sou Vide wand circulating the water, and I've already got it at 140 degrees. So see how this came out? I separated this just a little as it started to suck the air out. I just moved it a little bit, folded it in half, got all the extra that might be, see this might be hanging out. I don't want that hanging out, and you'll see why. So as much as it, if you can get tucked in as you can. And then I'm going to go over here like this, and there we go. It's all ready to go in our pan of water, and I used a saucepan for that. So I'm going to turn around and I am going to move the camera so you can see, and then I'm gonna come back later hopefully and show you how the meat ended up turning up. Now this will be ready. I'm probably not going to do this tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then this will be done the next day. So you'll see. And what I did also on this the other day when I made it is I did this and then I didn't cook it for a couple of days. And then when you go to cook it, it's nice because you can just on the fly go, okay, I'm going to do it. And, you know, however long it takes you to brown this. My daughter Lisa did it on the stove with some ghee. And so I did it that way the other day because it was raining really bad and we didn't want to have to go out on the barbecue grill. But you could go ahead and do that on the barbecue grill if you get out there, if it's a nice day or whatever. And then just, you know, do it on high, turn it around, brown it on all sides. If you want it done a little more, then do it a little slower, but you know, you've definitely got this. So here we go. I'm going to go over to the sous vide in the bucket. I have it on the floor because then I don't have, it's a tile floor. I don't have to worry about the heat. It's only 140 degrees, so it's really not going to hurt anything, but I just put it down there. It's not going to take up a big amount of room, and I have a plug down there. So here we go. Well, don't get dizzy. There we go. There it is down there. So, here we go. Oh, my finger got a little sore here doing this. Let me get the chair out of the way. That would help, huh? Oh, and there they both fell. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I can move this over a little. Actually, I can move it up there. All right, here we go. No worries. Oh, look at that. The lighting's not even that bad either. I have a bunch of projects going, so I step all over the dining room table. It will only take me a second to do, but I made the pizzellis and I made the tuna pancakes and the cannoli pancakes, and which are all animal products. So if you are carnivore and you want to, check that out, you can check that out. This is definitely a carnivore thing here, or a keto. Either way, this is good. And we got this coronavirus thing going on, so today's a good day to experiment with some of the different meats in your freezers. If you've got a dehydrator or a freeze dryer, take advantage of that and maybe freeze dry some things. My little deal came out. All right, that looks good. It is covered, not all the way though, so I'm going to work at that, but you get the idea. I just need a little bit more water in this, and then I'll be covering the meat. That's all I want to do, is just put a little more in there. And as you can, I don't know if you can see or not, and I am going to take this off of the tripod so you can see better. Hopefully I won't shut it off. All right, there we go. So you can see that this little wand here, turn it around. I got it upside down. So this tells me it's 140 degrees. I've got 5 hours and 21 minutes left on it. It's automatically going to shut off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some water on here. Mark, could you get me the piece that I put on top of this? It's silicone that I put on this. Anyway, Mark's going to go ahead and get that. I bought a silicone cover that kind of holds the heat in here, which just makes it run a lot more efficiently. As you can see, this is fluctuating from 139 to 140. And if I do this, it won't do it. You can do this with anything. If you want to put foil on it or whatever, you can do that. But I bought this. It goes on a bigger pot, but it also fits, oh, there we go, on this smaller one, and you can see it just goes right around there. My daughter did one, and she had a silicone pad that a silk pad that she bought off-brand, and she just cut it to fit this, and that's really good. So anyway, that's the way we go with this. It's going to be delicious. These are about $75. I got it on sale when Sam's Club went out of business. See if oh, there I go again. I'm always putting my hand in. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and check out now, and I will check back with you probably tomorrow whenever I make this and show you how delicious it turned out. But, get a sous vide, especially if you're doing keto or carnivore. It's a nice way to cook. It's 10:20, and I could actually, if I were going to have company or just wanted a really nice meal tonight, I could go ahead tonight after 6 hours. So that's what, 10, 11, 12, maybe 4 o'clock this afternoon. I could take this out and 5 o'clock we could throw it on the grill. 5:30 we'll have a nice beautiful piece of meat, and you could do this for today. So it's just nice if you're a busy person and you just want to do this and leave the house, you can. It can't hurt anything. If it gets below the maximum on the water level, it'll just shut off. But it's a real safe thing. It's really not hot. You can see I'm touching the pan, and I don't want to hold my hand there very long, but I'm not going to get burned to be touched. And of course, if you're doing this with children around, you want to make sure you got this up high where nobody can reach it, nobody can trip on the cord, because this is really hot water, 140 degrees. You wouldn't want to spill this on anybody. So anyway, have a good rest of the day, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.